Paul Sykes, big name, mixed emotions, and a lot of people are jumping on the bandwagon. Now there's going to be a film and a documentary. So Paul done one book, I done three, a couple of others done the fifth and the sixth. So there's six in total. So there's people out there never met him. Now I know what you're gonna be sat here thinking, you never met him, so what you're on about? Sat there with your stupid haircut. But the books, and I'm going to give you a list of the people whose opinions quite way up, far greater than people's opinions getting a little bit of the story in my books and then just turning it into the worst kind of things. Totally fabricating tall stories to suit their narrative, to get the views. So, Sykes, Unfinished Agony, I started off really only wanting to do one book. So, this book is all the research of prison governors, Paul's only sibling, lifelong friends from Lupsit, boxing friends, people, owners in clubs, boxing historians, Eddie Richardson, the London gangster, Charles Salvador, formerly known as Bronson, Tony and John Spenceley, who Sykes used to live with, Mickey Van, very, very famous referee, Yorkshire, very well known in the boxing world, Neil Malpass and John L. Gardner, so they're both for Sykes. Terry Mitchell's in there, so he was, from my research, probably the only one who really beat a prime Paul Sykes. Anyone else who beat him up was probably just taking liberties with an old man. Nick Manners, Glenn McCrory, the former world champion, Kenneth Dobson. Now he was the old tailor who sadly passed last year, from the Paul Sykes documentary. Oh no, there's double-breasted. You know the guy, don't you? Who else? Alex Morrison, boxing promoter in Scotland. Paul's niece. There's a couple of Lupset lads. There's Paul Sykes Jr. There's Johnny Nelson, who's more or less the voice of Sky Sports these days. There's people from the Lupset, various people from the Lupset estate. There's Paul's social worker. There's Peter Fury, Tyson Fury's uncle, former coach. There's another of Paul's sons. This book is written up full of poetry and just basically several years of research, and that's what got the film people's attention. The second book, so that is made up. I spoke to boxers, John Conte, Richard Dunn, Bunny Johnson. I spoke to Brendan Ingle, God rest him, for the first book. I forgot about him. David Flint, so he's in this book. Dennis Flint's son. Paul's solicitor. Another of Paul's care worker. A Wakefield police officer who's remained unnamed. Who else? Delroy Showers, of course. There's probably Paul's closest friend throughout his life. Anyone who's seen Paul Sykes at large, that's the black guy who's marrying him. And anyone who's familiar with Paul's biography, Sweet Agony, then you'll know the names Davy Dumford and Ronnie Trelfall. So they're in this. Chris Lambriano, he's from the Cray member 15 years, Jet Hat McVitie, so he lived next door to Sykes. Janet Sellers, Tom Keeley, he fought Sykes. Colin Hart, the voice of Oxen, really, the writer for The Sun. Clyde Broughton, Reg Long, who sparred many rounds of Sykes. And that book there, that is purely, I think it's just near enough 200 pages. And that's all my words, apart from, so it's probably about 180 words, 180 pages of me, apart from the former top chief of West Yorkshire Police, name anonymous. Obviously he couldn't, for legal reasons, I couldn't print his name, but he kind of gave me an insight to something like 20 years of dealing with him. The guy who was very familiar with his CRB, and he said, listen, Jamie, I despise the man. I absolutely hated him. But none of the things that has been said lately for views, for clickbait, none of them were on his record. So, it's very easy to slate a man and say you went to fight him when he's no longer here. It's very easy to slate dead people, but so sweet agony, unfinished agony, further agony, and final agony. Them 4 books is basically what the film script. So them books have been read, scrutinised. Basically, I've saved Western Edge Pictures and Born Civil years of research. So that's where the foundations for the film will be them books. So it's a very far cry from hearsay, where other people are, kind of going this and that and just fucking making up as they go along. So that's what if you look at the Western Edge Pictures website, and you'll see the official blurb stroke synopsis for the film, written by Vaughan Civil and Leo Bill, and that's where so I've never read the script. I know it's finished, but when the film comes out and it starts in 1989, all the information of thorough research, and I think anyone who knows me knows how obsessed I am with the job. I was kind of addicted to it, if you like, and I found out a great deal and mix of people that I probably really had no right to even speak to, but they spoke to me. Obviously, some names they had to put them in as unnamed or whatever, but I didn't know him, and something I always get shot at. Oh, well, you didn't know him, and you can't write books about people you didn't know. Listen, there's how many books is there on Jet the Ripper? I very much doubt 200 odd books were written by anyone who knew him, or books by Hitler for that matter, unless there were probably about 140 in the round today. So yeah, I'd never understand that. I get that shot at me so many times. Oh, you didn't know him, and and it doesn't matter. The clue's in the name, true crime author. So it's part of my job to kind of go and discover and research and dig and so much so that the films them books have been signed to be a film. So listen, don't pay too much attention to. I could do a video a day. I really could do so many videos a day saying the most outrageous, shocking things, and people, oh wow, didn't know that, but it doesn't mean it's real. So yeah, listen, just be careful what you listen to and take in, because there's people out there who will not think telling lies is as easy as breathing. It really, really is for that certain person. Never met anyone in my entire life. If you told me the grass was green, I would look and it'd probably be yellow. If the sky was blue, it'd probably be red from the thunder or from the sun or something like that. But they will just keep on and saying the most monstrous things for views, because they're not going anywhere and they've got no prospects. And other than talking about me or slagging the likes of him off, they've got nothing going for them. And I just refuse to go there. As I said in another video, Tees Valley Film Festival this week, Home House Prison this week. You know, so I can't react. I will be sleeping rough in the next couple, well, particularly when I find out how bad my wife's illness is tomorrow. But I've been invited to the Tees Valley Film Festival back end of October, and I need to sleep rough. I need to sleep rough in August or September to even have a right to be there. So I'm going to do it. Yeah, I'm going to do a week homeless, as I said. Lost the beard, lost the long hair. Because I'm working now as well part-time, so I'm kind of putting the books on back old. But yeah, it's, you know, we've got things going on. I just don't have the time to address every single absurd suggestion of just utter nonsense, where there's certain people who, they've got the time, they don't have kids, they don't have jobs, and they will just sit there all day just telling lies. But yeah, it's not my game, and I've got no intention of doing that. And I spoke to Danny Christie about 5 weeks ago, and I just stopped watching it. I spoke to Paul Venice yesterday, and he said, you know what, Jamie, said, I just follow the boxing and all this. And that's what I'm like the last month. I'll stick to my own channel, and I will basically watch, I think there's 19 in total, and they're all about positive or informative boxing, football, social history, London kind of. And I just don't, you know, I'm sure there'll be more videos today. There's probably more last night talking about me. But listen, it's a free country, isn't it? I just haven't got the time to you know, to go around. And as I said, I'm not aware. Users will be aware of it, and I'm sure you know what I'm about. But you know, so when I'm I'm actually going to be in London probably next 4 to 8 weeks, and I'll be with Western Edge Pictures because they've got an office in London. So I'll be getting more information on regarding the film and all that. But yeah, there is people out there who will literally spend the whole day making all kinds of things up, and it's just not me. It really not. But I just wanted to say that, you know, Sykes, Unfinished Agony, 50 different people in that one. Sykes, Further Agony, 34, I think. And that was basically my end game from being around a lot of the characters. Reading Sweet Agony, which was that one, watching Paul Sykes at large and walking into the story, meeting all the characters, you know, meeting several of Paul's sons, his sister, the makers of Paul Sykes at Large, Delroy Showers, the Spenceleys, Paul's wife, one of them. So that's, you know, that and other than that, it's the only thing I've got in that book is 20 pages of the former chief of West Yorkshire Police. I always say Wakefield, but it's actually West Yorkshire. And you know, and as I said, he despised the man, but he didn't tell lies. Do you know what I mean? The facts are facts. And when you deal with professional people, they don't really need to sit and lie and bullshit every other minute, because they don't need to, because they've got jobs and they've got a life, not like certain people on YouTube. So yeah, listen, all these books are available: Waterstones, eBay, Amazon. There is actually another 2, not done by me. Where's it gone? So, but they are done by Warcry Publishing. So it's sharks, not shark infested. Very cleverly done. I dare say that is better than any jacket design I've ever had in my entire life. Very disappointed that I never got it. And Yes, Paul, which is done by the very lovely Matthew Oakley. He's a Paul Sykes enthusiast. And that's it, I'm done. It's over to Western Edge Pictures for the movie and the documentary. There will be people going on, and do you know what? I hope, as a figure, as someone who's interested, I hope people do come along and write more books and other things. But I hope it's people kind of that bring credibility to the story, not just fat half-wits and American football tops, just making lies up, wearing a hat, still thinking they've got hair. But there you go. And listen, I'm sure it will snowball on and on and on and on. But yeah, that's the books. That was all the facts. Listen, I didn't know him. Never said I did know him. Never even heard of him till just over 5 years after he died. But as I said, them people did know him, and what they told me, good, bad, damn right evil at times, is their story. And I've just put that out in a very respectful manner. And my bits usually at them books are the bit at the start and the bit at the end, but all in the middle, the juicy, gossipy, real life ups and downs and all these kind of interesting tales is nothing to do with me. So yeah, that's just want to say that basically. So I'm sure there will be more videos and on that man, but really it's nothing. It's not against that man. What it is, it's directed at me because these people have tried to bully me. Hasn't worked. They've tried to sue me. Certainly hasn't worked. Well, now they will attack that because they're trying to sabotage the film, the documentary, because again, they've got nothing going for them. And as I said, when I'm we're speaking to the prison authorities this week with Paul Venice, and we're at the Tees Valley Film Festival, or I'm sleeping rough for charity next month, and the BBC are following it. And these people will still be sat on YouTube calling me the fake author. You know, listen, if you don't like me, which I understand, I'm not for everyone. You know, some people will believe the lies. For instance, another thing which quite gets said a lot is several of my books support registered charities. So, I mean that one. I mean this is something I can't make up, because if I made it up, I would never work again. I would be ruined. So, say for instance, right. Give me a minute. Where's it gone? Right. So there. The Bradley Lowry Foundation with the registration number. £1 from the sale of each publication will be donated to the Bradley Lowry Foundation. So that's just one. Now, you know, if I wasn't doing this, I'm sure it would have come out a long time ago. And if anyone wants to buy any of my books and contact the registrations and knock yourselves out. But there's people out there don't give nothing to no one. You know, that book was actually dedicated to my friend Neil Booth. And you know, I'm not putting, listen, I don't do it for a pat on the back, but there's people out there trying to say I don't do nothing when, you know, I know, and anyone who wants to contact Neil Booth, I've given over £4,000 to a little boy growing up without a dad. So we kind of set up the Frankie Lee Booth Foundation, and that's just one of many. So, you know, there's a lot of bad characters I've written about, but you know, I didn't do it. I'm the clues in the name. I keep saying that all the time. I'm a true crime author, but there has been a lot of good. There has been a lot of good come from it, and there's a lot of good that will always come from it. Certainly, as long as I'm alive. But yeah, listen, I just wanted to get that point across, that there will be people out there who probably make the videos and, you know, they'll see things are going on with the film and the documentary, and start maybe shotting more and more mud, and hopefully, you know, there will be people who believe the nonsense, but then there's the people with half a brain that just think you are one fucking walking contradiction. You know, some people that you don't have to be bright to think, hang on a minute, you're just making this up as you go along. And it's to get at me. But yeah, I just wanted to put that out. Right, I'm off to watch a Celtic game. Big Ange Postecoglou, he's the man in my life. And it's Flag Day, so I'm going to go and watch that. The wife's gone out, so I'm going to have a bit of me time, watch it. But big love, people. Thank you so much for your love, interest and support. Yeah, hospital tomorrow with the wife. So we will know what we touch wood. She's not too bad, and you know, I just need to be there. I mean, actually, I should have been in London. So I was due to go on a Sunday. First night was Monday. So I should have actually done 6 nights on the street. I probably regret cutting my hair now and long beard, because if I go next month or whatever, I would have really looked the part. But not to be. But yeah, I would have only had one more night to do. And as I said, that's going to be for the Discovery Academy in Middlesbrough, which is a registered autism charity. So yeah, big thank you to everyone who's watched. Please don't forget to give it a like, subscribe, and thank you so much. God bless.